7 days, 4 documents, and one giant file just changed the fight over artificial intelligence. On Friday, the head of Nvidia posted on X for the first time in his life to share a letter signed by Nvidia, Meta, Microsoft, Hugging Face, and Mistral. On Monday, the head of Anthropic, the company behind Claude, answered it. And that same day, a lab in Beijing put the largest open AI model in history online for anyone to download. The best AI in the world and that free download are 3 points apart. This is the fight over what those 3 points mean. This is the fine print from NoFlow. Start with what these things are, because the whole fight lives in one word: weights. Underneath every AI model sits one enormous file of numbers, billions of them. Those numbers are called weights. They're everything the model learned in training. The weights are the model. Companies like Anthropic and OpenAI keep their weights secret. You talk to Claude or ChatGPT through their servers, and you pay for every message. That's a closed model. An open weight model is the opposite. The company publishes the file. You download it, run it on your own machines, and change it however you like. Kimi K3, the model Moonshot released on Monday, is a 1.4 terabyte download. And once a file like that is published, copies spread. There's no way to pull it back. Now the scoreboard, because this is the part most people haven't seen. Artificial Analysis is an independent firm that runs every major model through the same 9 tests: coding, science, reasoning, agents. The top of its table is the best closed model money can buy, Claude Fable 5 with a score of 60. Kimi K3 scores 57, 3 points off the best model in the world, and the file is free. 2 years ago, this table wasn't close. Open models were toys by comparison. Epoch, a research group that tracks AI progress, has measured the change. The best open models now sit about 4 months behind the frontier, on average. 4 months. That's the entire lead the biggest labs in the world are holding. So how did free models get this good, this fast? Part of it is real engineering. The leading Chinese labs are genuinely strong, and some of them publish their research openly. And part of it, American labs allege, is a technique called distillation. Distillation works like a student copying a teacher. You take a frontier model, ask it millions of questions through the paid interface, and train your own model on the answers. Training a frontier model from scratch takes months and tens of thousands of specialized chips. Distilling from one takes a fraction of that. Which also explains why chip bans haven't stopped this. Copying a model needs far fewer chips than inventing one. Amode put a number on it this week. Distillation, he wrote, can bring the Chinese frontier to within a few months of the American one. Anthropic bans accounts that do this to Claude. It also admits it usually catches them after the copying is done. Now follow the money, because this is why the labs are nervous. A frontier lab spends billions training a model, then earns it back by charging for every message. The UK's AI Security Institute ran the same cyber tasks through closed and open models and priced the results. Anthropic's Opus solved a task for about $12.50. DeepSeek's open model solved the same task for 28 cents. The same work, at roughly 45 times less. So if a free model is 4 months behind at that price, what's left to charge for? The 4 months. The newest capabilities, the hardest reasoning, the things no downloaded file can do yet, plus the trust and reliability that big companies pay for. That's a real business. It's also a lead that has to be re-earned every few months, forever. Which brings us to the actual fight, and it's smaller than the headlines suggest. Reports say officials in Washington are weighing a ban on Chinese open models. The letter Nvidia and the others signed argues restrictions like that would backfire. It says open weights expand access, keep the market competitive, and let companies control their own AI instead of renting it. Amode agrees with more of that letter than you might expect. He wrote that Anthropic has never advocated a ban and called open models without dangerous capabilities a public good. The disagreement that remains fits in one question. When everyone has a powerful model, who gains more, defenders or attackers? The letter says defenders. More eyes on the model means more people finding flaws and fixing them, the way open source software hardened the internet. Amode worries the opposite may hold and points at biology. A capable model might help design a weapon in weeks. Building the defense against one took Operation Warp Speed years. Nobody knows the answer yet. That's the uncomfortable part. It's also why both sides are drifting toward the same fix. Test the most powerful models before release, open and closed alike, with every country at the table, including China. Amode calls that idea close to a consensus. And a smaller test comes first. The UK Institute says it'll now run Kimi K3 through its cyber evaluations, weights in hand. If a free download performs at the frontier there, the 4-month window everyone's counting on gets a lot shorter. That's the fine print. Why your news matters, every morning. Free at noflow.io.